you have a memory of the evening,
Yes.
the plans with your family,
Yes.
watch a movie, dinner.
Yes.
Tell me about what you were doing later in the evening.
I ate dinner and I went up to my room and I was gonna watch my own movie, and I watched some TikToks on my phone, and my parents were in their room at the time and my brother was in his room. I believe he was sleeping. It was already like 8 or 9 at the time.
Tell us what happened later. That is obviously unusual.
Yeah,
event.
I was laying in my bed and my mom came in my room and she was just like, "Your dad's going to talk to the neighbor about plowing snow in the driveway." And I was like, okay, and we both walked downstairs. We were messing around in the living room talking to each other, and I ended up looking out the window to see if anything was going on, and I saw my dad walking home to walk away. But I didn't see the prior situation of him going out there. I think when I was going down the stairs, he was about to go outside. So I just saw when he was walking away and when Jason pulled the gun out.
You saw the gun come up?
Yes.
Kyndra, do you know whether or not your home, your parents utilized a home surveillance system?
Yes.
You said you were looking out a window to see some of these events. Can you describe that window for us if we were looking from the exterior of the building?
Yes, it's the window outside from our porch. It's like the huge window where you can see like the road and you can see some of the neighbors' houses across the street and the one across from us.
And that's the window you were looking out from?
Yes.
Is that also a window that utilizes a home security system?
It is, yes.
I feel like I interrupted you, and I don't want to necessarily have you talk or relive this, but can you describe to me again, I didn't quite follow what you saw when you looked out the window.
Yeah, when I looked out the window, I saw a truck open, the door open, and I saw Jason Levesque standing out of it. And I saw my dad walking to the house. He was just walking back on the side of the street, on the side of the road. And I saw Jason Levesque just pull the gun out, and that's when I yelled to my mom, "He has a gun." And at the time, all I could do was just run out the door. So I ran out the door, and that's when my dad was already on the ground. And I looked at Jason and I said, "You shot my dad," like 3 times. He didn't say anything.
Do you need just a second? I want to ask you some more questions.
Of course.
You said you saw a truck.
Yes.
Can you describe generally where you saw that truck?
It was parked on the side of the street. It was more on his side of the property, Jason Levesque, but it was also kind of hitting in the middle of ours. So it was kind of in between of his steps, but also in the middle of entrancing our driveway.
You said you kind of have a memory of some of these events, the actions, the moments, and then going out to see your dad.
Yes.
Can you describe your father when you went out outside of your home?
He was laying there. He was laying on the ground. He was just like curled up in a ball.
And how did he appear to you?
Hurt.
How?
He was just bleeding everywhere. And he didn't say anything. And I was just holding him. And then I went to go get towels in the house because I didn't know what to do.
Did anybody else come outside?
My mom.
Your
She
mother?
came out after, yes.
Your mother, Angela?
Yes.
And while your mother was outside, is that when you went to get towels?
That is, yes.
And then what did you do? What other actions, if any, did you take?
My mom was outside yelling, "Call the cops," when I brought the towels back out, and I believe she was already on the phone with them, but that's when I started to dial 911 as well.
Did you complete that call to 911?
I did, yes.
And share with me what happens after both you and your mother call 911.
I stayed on the call because the officer wanted me to stay on the call until the ambulance and the other police got there. So they came, I would probably say at least 2 minutes after the call.
And during that time, from when you came out and the 2 minutes, did your dad move, change locations?
No, he was just facing the snowbank and just curled up in a ball still.
On the ground?
Yes.
And you said that the police arrived some 2 minutes later.
Yes.
by your estimate. Can you just briefly describe for us what happens next?
Yeah, my dad was laying there, and that's when one of the cops came up and they took off his shirt, ripped it off, and the ambulance were putting him on one of those chairs to put him in the ambulance.
Did you observe for a period of time officers and the EMTs attempting to treat your dad?
No, not much afterwards.
And then after you were outside, can you tell us what other contact you may have had with police officers or law enforcement investigating this?
I don't think I had contact other than when one cop came in my house to ask, like, questions about what happened and asked if we had camera footage and all that.
Do you know whether or not you viewed or officers viewed the footage and whether that was turned over to?
Yes, it was turned over that night. My mother handed over my dad's phone.
Some of the events that you have described, do you believe they were captured on the video, the home surveillance system?
I do.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would like to reorient and perhaps Attorney Sistian and Mr. Levesque would like to reorient, if we could have a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
I'll say that this is the bane of my existence. We'll move it forward, and if the court can inquire whether there are any issues with the view of it, we'll try and accommodate. Could you give us a minute?
Everybody can see it.
Yes. With the court's permission, I'm going to ask that the witness step into the well, Your Honor.
That's fine.
Thank
You
you.
ready to do that now?
I am.
Can all jurors see the television while you're sitting? See?
Well, Your Honor, we'll pause it at the first image and reconfirm. But
Do you need the lights to do anything? Or is it bright enough with the...
sorry, Mike. I could bring the mic back.
No, the lights. We're going to need to dim the lights eventually? Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with that.
Okay. Kyndra, can I ask you to step down with the judge's permission away from the witness stand?
Members of the jury, can you all, down the end, can you all see that? Very good.
And it's possible